Okay, so we've been talking about similar figures for the past couple days now, and we've gotten to the point where we've worked problems with the shapes that we see, and so now we're saying, well, how does this come to the application? How am I going to use this in real life? So we're going to see that when we work with our word problems. The best strategy for attacking these word problems is to set up a picture, because that's going to let you see the actual similar figures themselves. So here we have a 40-foot flagpole that casts a shadow 7.5 feet long, and at the same time a neighborhood flagpole is 12 feet high and casts a shadow that is S feet long, which means I don't know the length of that shadow. So I want to figure out how long is my shadow. Well, I know a 40-foot flagpole was going to probably look something like this. And then if I have a shadow that's created, it's going to come out and maybe be something like this, right? So I have my flagpole. I can do my, nice little flag. And it kind of casts its shadow down here. So if you look at this, really what we have is a triangle, right? We've kind of made this triangle. And so I have a similar flagpole, my other one, that's 12 feet tall and cast a shadow of S because I don't know what that is. So I'm going to continue. Here's my little flagpole, right, and making my shadow. Now I can set up my similar figure because this is just like two similar triangles with corresponding sides. They've told us that they're similar. So let's start by setting up our proportions or our ratios. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to put my side over my bottom, and I'm going to put 40 over 7.5, and then do the same thing over here. So I have 12 over S. The reason I like to do this is because I like to connect from side to side when I'm going right here. So see how my green arrows kind of match each other right there? That's the kind of direction I'm looking for, like that. So I can find my scale factor. So now we should have learned from one of our previous videos about scale factor, because I want to find what did I multiply to get from 40 to 12. Well, I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but I do know with scale factor I can create a ratio of my new over my old, or my end over beginning, and that will set it up. So my new is where I'm going, or my end right here, and that's 12. So I'm going to put a 12 on top of a 40. Now if I do some reducing right here, 12 over 40 goes to 6 over 20, which goes down to 3 over 10 and 3/10. Now that's a nice friendly decimal, so I can say that my scale factor is 0.3. Now that means that 40 times 0.3 gives me 12, and if I did that to the top, I need to do that to the bottom. So 7.5 times 0.3, it should get me my answer. So let's do some quick math off to the side. 7.5 times 0.3, well, 3 times 5 is 15, carry my 1. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1, which is 22. I have one digit behind, so I need 2 digits behind my decimal point. Remember our decimal multiplication. So that's going to give me 2.25 feet. Now, if you did get 22.5 feet, you can ask yourself, wait a second, does my flagpole get smaller but my shadow get longer? Does that really make sense? To kind of double check your answer there. So that's how we're going to attack these types of word problems. Setting up a picture so we can see the shapes, and once we can see the shapes, then we can set up our proportion and really solve it out and get where we need to go.